Hello and welcome to our Excel tutorial series. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at formulas and functions in Excel. This is a broad topic, so the topic will be divided into various episodes. So try and follow along so that you'll be able to utilize the features that you want to. I'll go into details starting from the beginning. I'll look at the most common formulas and functions that you'll be needing for your data analysis or your data wrangling. So make sure you subscribe if you have not subscribed. Okay. So formulas is basically a formula is basically a mathematical expression that you use to manipulate data. So in Excel. So it means that when you are working in Excel, the mathematical expression that you'll be writing is what we refer to as formulas. So I'll define functions as we go along. So before you start any formula, you have to begin with what an equal to sign. Although you can start with a plus and minus sometimes, um, it's not advisable unless you know what you're doing. So all formulas and functions must begin with an equal to sign. Must begin with an equal to sign. Okay, so let's look at the mathematical operators used. So the mathematical operators that we use are similar to the one that we use in doing manual mathematics, manual calculations. So as you can see, this is the addition sign, that's the plus sign. This is the subtraction, that's for negation. This is multiplication to find the product. Division, yes, to divide numbers. Then you have the comparators, the symbols that we use or the operators that we use to compare um, different values. Okay, so you have the less than, greater than, less or equal to, greater or equal to, not equal to, percentage, and the ampersand for what? Concatenation, meaning combining text or combining things together. So you'll be looking at how to use all of them as we progress. So you'll start with some basic calculation. As you can see on your left, you have a table. Now on the table, we have a list of items and their prices, then the quantity that we ordered. Then, fortunately, each item comes with their discount. So good news. So first of all, let's do something. Let's we have some columns to fill. We have the actual cost price, we have the discounted amount, and we have the total cost. So like similar to what you would do when you are working with a sheet. So here we are supposed to calculate the actual cost price because we have the cost price of the item, the unit price. This is the cost price means the unit price. So let me change it to unit price. Unit price. So good. That's the unit price of the item. Then the quantity. So if you want to know the total quantity, the total cost you are supposed to pay, which is the actual cost price, like our normal mathematics, what we do is that we multiply the unit price by the number of what items we ordered or the number of items you bought. So here the unit price is $500 and we bought 41. So we need to find the actual cost price if there's no discount. How much are we paying? So what we do is that we multiply. So if you want to find 500, this item that costs $500, if you want to find the total amount you paid for, you have to multiply the unit price by the other quantity. And we do that by what? Introducing our equal to sign. So as I said, every formula begins with an equal to sign. So we start with an equal to sign. Then we multiply. So we pick the cell. We pick the cell that has the item you want to multiply. So 500 is in cell A2. So when you type the equal to sign, you can type A2 or you click in the cell that has what the value. So then you introduce what your multiplication sign, which is the asterisk. Then we are supposed to multiply it to the other quantity here. We have 41. We have 41. So we click on 41, or you type the cell reference of 41. Somebody might ask, why don't we just type the 541? Yes, it will give you the same answer, but don't forget you'll be having about 100,000 rows to calculate for the cost price, the actual cost price. If you want to type the figures individually, then it wouldn't be useful because it will be very tedious. So we use a cell reference and instead of what the values. So Excel goes to the cell, looks at the value there, then it will pick it, then you multiply. So now so you see that after I type A2, see that A2 has been highlighted. I type B2, B2 has been highlighted. So let's press enter. So after pressing the enter, you see that it calculates the total cost that we are supposed to pay initially. Okay. So the next thing is, okay, so you are done with the first row. Now we have the option to type. Okay, so let's do this again. So I want to find the total price, actual price for the second item. So I type it equal to, and I'll click in here. I introduce what? My multiplication sign. Then the other, we bought only two. We press enter. So this is the total cost you're supposed to pay for the second item. Now you see, it will not be efficient to be typing the formulas one after the other. So what we do is that we utilize a feature in Excel, that is the autofill in Excel. So Excel will adjust if you remember or if you watch our video on the types of cell referencing, absolute, mix, relative, you know when and how to use them. So to use your cell referencing. Now, because this reference was relative, when I drag downwards, it's supposed to what? Copy the formula downwards and give me what? My answer. So you can visit my video on formulas and functions to types of cell referencing to familiarize yourself with this. So what I do is that I can double click. You see, position your mouse pointer on this small box there. Okay, that's the autofill button. So I double click so that it populates the answers for me. So Excel will adjust. So see, when I'm in the first row, it picks the first unit price and what's the cost, the quantity. If I come to this place, it also picks. Then if I get to this place too, it picks based on what? The row where I'm working. So this is how you use to calculate your actual cost price. So let's move on. Now let's look at the discount. So how do we calculate the discount? Okay, so with the discount, you have the discount percent. So the values here are in percentages. Although the cells have not been formatted as percentages. Yeah. As we move on, it becomes simpler by what formatting them in percentages and working with them. But for now, let's stick to a manual way so that you understand what you're doing. Okay, so the next one is I'm going to calculate the discount amount using what? The percentage and what? The actual cost price. So any amount you are supposed to pay, we calculate what? A discount on it. So let's calculate the actual the discount amount. So the discount amount also, what do we do? We calculate, for this particular, we calculate 6% of the $20,500. So you're going to calculate 6% of this. Okay, yes, and we'll use our normal way of calculating. So I'll introduce my equal to sign. Then I will type the cell. We know we are supposed to what? Multiply it by 6%. 6%, we have to divide it by 100. Okay, so because this cell has not been formatted in percentages, so we have to divide it. So we have 6 divided by the value we have here. Now all multiplied by what? 100. Sorry, all multiplied by, so we are supposed to calculate, so see the percentage, so 6% over 100 times the actual cost price. So the percentage, so this expression C over 100 means what? 6% off the multiplication sign means the off. So 6% off the 20,500. So when I press enter, it means that you are getting a discount of 1,230 for this particular product. Okay. Now, when you are doing calculation, your normal the board mass or the pen mass that we learned in mass becomes handy. There are certain situations whereby if you don't arrange your formulas well, you are going to get wrong answers. And mind you, with Excel, we have the syntax and the semantics error as usual, like as we have in other programming languages. So when your syntax is wrong, like the way you arrange your formula, if Excel doesn't recognize it, it will give you error and it can't calculate for you. But there are certain times that Excel will give you an answer, but meanwhile, the answer is not the actual answer you are supposed to get because of what? Semantic error, because you didn't arrange your formulas well. So this formula you have here, they are very simple, straight away. So your board mass will automatically work for us. So you see, this one give us 1,230. So when you are working with complex formulas, what I do is that I normally group the individual component of the formula into what? Brackets. So because it's a simple formula, if I group this one in a bracket, I'll still have the same answer. So that if I'm confused with my board mass or my paired mass, Excel can work for us. Okay, so I press enter, I still have the same answer. Then I'll use the autofill to calculate my answer. Okay, so now let's move on to the total cost. So now with the total cost, how do we calculate the total cost? You can figure it out. You can pause the video, then figure it out. Okay, we'll move on. So this time around, our total cost means the amount payable. We have to what? Find the actual cost and deduct our discount from it. Because this was the amount we are supposed to have paid, and they give us a discount of this. So we what? You subtract. So this is a simple formula. So it's equal to whatever is here minus the discount amount. You press enter, use the autofill to drag. So now this indicates that what? The values are too large for the column. So what I'll do is I'll adjust. So I've adjusted. So this is how we complete our table. Okay. So you can do complex calculations with what? Excel. Excel has a lot of features. Excel is rich in what? Formulas and functions. So you can utilize them to make work efficient for you. So join me in our next class. Once again, see you. Bye.